What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to have ownership of the beautiful yellow metal and to have been building yourself your own personal gold mine the last couple of years, because the spot price of gold is now above $4,000 an ounce for the first time ever, and technically it's closer to $4,100 than it is to $4,000 flat. Gold is on the move. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel for even more videos. Follow me on Instagram for coin photography, TikTok for little video snippets, and X for all of my thoughts on precious metals, business stocks, real estate, AI, the list goes on, at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms, or linked in the description. All right, so we got to talk about the spot price of gold. Now, I am going to be talking a little bit about silver as well. Usually my videos are primarily focused on silver with gold sprinkled on top. This is going to be the opposite. This is going to be a video about gold with a little bit of silver sprinkled on top. So as I'm recording this video, it is Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, 1:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The spot price of gold is $4,051.20. It is up $67.60 on the day as I'm recording, or up 1.7%. Another strong, solid day for the beautiful yellow metal. It's been a strong, solid year for the beautiful yellow metal as well, which we will absolutely get into. But just by looking at that number right there, $4,051.20. Technically, we are closer to $4,100 than we are to $4,000 even. Gold is on the move. And obviously so is silver. Can't talk about one without at least mentioning the other. Same day, same time, spot price of silver is $49.35. Up $1.59 on the day as I'm recording, or up 3.34%. A huge day for the beautiful white metal. Both precious metals are doing absolutely fantastic. Obviously not just today. And I do understand that this video is coming out the day after. God only knows what the spot price is going to be by the time the video is released, but I got to talk about the spot price of silver surpassing, not just hitting, but surpassing $4,000. That is huge. That's enormous for gold. That's the highest it has ever been. I've been making videos all year, and it seems like every time I mention gold, I'm talking about, oh, new all-time high, another new all-time high, another new all-time high. Gold is just breaking its own record over and over and over and over and over again. It's insane. But like I said, it's not just a strong day for the metals. It's a strong year. I mean, for example, gold is up over 52% year to date. 2025. From January 1st to present day, as I'm filming the video, gold is up over 52%. That is blowing almost everything out of the water right now. The only thing that isn't being crushed by gold is silver. Silver is up almost 70% year to date. So if you're all in on one or all in on the other, or if you have, I don't know, a 50-50 blend between the two, or even a 95-5 blend between the two, leaning heavily in either direction, you are killing it right now. This year, regardless of which precious metal you are a little bit more in, they're both doing incredible, which means you are doing incredible. The performance of precious metals in 2025 so far, don't want to speak too soon. We still got 2.5 months left of the year for things to go in any direction. But so far, absolute obliteration. Silver up almost 70% year to date. Gold up over 52% year to date. How does that compare to some of the other markets right now. The S&P 500 is up 14.13% year to date, which, by the way, in and of itself is incredible. That's an incredible year for the stock market. That would be an incredible year for silver, an incredible year for gold, an incredible year for anything. Up over 14%? I would take that all day. 14%. That's huge. So it just goes to show how much of a behemoth the precious metals are. For the S&P to be up over 14% and silver and gold to both be up between 50 and 70%, it just goes to show how much the precious metals are killing it this year. They are on a speed run this year. Bitcoin is up 32.5% this year. Also enormous. Also incredible. But still underperforming the precious metals so far. Again, we have 2.5 months left of the year for anything to happen. But I just wanted to put that out there as a little bit of a comparison. How the precious metals are doing compared to other markets. Now, as I've been saying in recent videos, is this indicative of what future years are to show? Absolutely not. No. There will be years where we see more red than green for the precious metals. There will be years where the stock market outperforms precious metals. There will be years where crypto outperforms precious metals. We're not talking about those years in the future. We're not talking about years in the past. We're talking about this year. It's huge. Now, I also, in addition to this spot price update and gold being at an all-time high right now, I also wanted to talk about my gold stacking experience. For those of you that don't know, I started stacking silver at the very end of 2017, and I started picking up a little bit of gold at the very beginning of 2018. So I've been in precious metals since then. I've been in precious metals for about, at this point, just about 8 years. I've told my silver stacking story many times. Like I said, this is a video more geared toward gold. So I started picking up gold at the very beginning of 2018. And I wasn't overly consistent with it. I was more focused on silver. But I understood the importance of diversification, and I understood the key difference between silver stacking and gold stacking. I knew that silver was the, what I like to call at least, the opportunity metal, whereas gold is the stability metal, the powerhouse metal. The metal that the richest people on the planet prefer during times of economic uncertainty, financial hardships. I understood that gold is what people flock to as a safe haven, or use it as almost like a base layer in addition to all of their other ventures, business, stocks, real estate. There's always a little bit of gold in the mix for the sake of stability and also diversification. And when times get tough, a lot of the time you'll notice that the big dogs, and I don't just mean the big dogs, I mean the biggest dogs of the big dogs, will liquidate a portion of their portfolios. They'll sell off a little bit. Maybe they're trimming the fat a little bit, or they just want to lean into something for, as a safety net. And they'll take some of that cash and they'll move it to gold. You see this time and time again. I knew that that's what gold was for. I knew that gold was the much more stable metal between the two. I knew that gold, between the two metals, if you're going to rely on one, if you're going to use one as a crutch, gold is the far safer bet. Silver A lot of volatility there. Wild swings in upward and downward directions. Completely unpredictable. And my theory at the time was silver seems to be the more opportunistic play, whereas gold is obviously the more stability play. I'm young in the game. I'm not looking for stability just yet. I'm looking for opportunity. So I was far more in silver than I was gold. But like I said, I understood the importance of diversification, and I understood the importance of both metals, and that they are not the same metal of different colors. They have different melting points. They have different industrial uses. They're completely different metals. They're weighed differently. If you take a troy ounce of silver and a troy ounce of gold, they are noticeably not the same size. One is heavier than the other. They're very different metals, is what I'm saying. Silver is not a white gold, and gold is not a yellow silver. They're different, completely different. So when I picked up my very first piece of gold, I went with the smallest possible piece of gold you can think of. I picked up a little 1 gram gold bar. Now, spot price at the time, I want to say it was maybe $1,200 to $1,300. In my mind, I was thinking to myself, my God, gold is expensive. Little did I know I'd be making this very video only about 7.5 years later. $4,000? Are you kidding me? Going on $4,100? Are you joking? $1,200, $1,300 is expensive. My God. If I could just go back in time and smack myself in the face. But I picked up a little bit of gold. And this was so early in the game for me. This was actually before I really truly developed a full understanding of how premiums worked. I understood how premiums worked, but not to like the fullest extent. And I didn't realize at the time that the smaller denomination you go with, the higher the premiums are going to be. For example, it actually costs you quite a bit more dollars to pick up 10 10th-ounce gold coins than it would be to just save up and get yourself a 1 ounce gold coin. Why is this? They're both a troy ounce. One is just divided up in 10 different ways, and the other one is just a 1 ounce gold coin. Why is this? It's like wholesale. It's like going to the wholesale club and getting a big box of cereal instead of going to the grocery store and getting 2 or 3 boxes of cereal that equal the same amount of cereal at the wholesale club, but the wholesale club is noticeably cheaper. Also, the divisibility. It's more convenient to have 10th-ounce gold coins. It's like having 10 $5 bills instead of a 50. Which would you rather have? Me personally, I'd rather have the 5s. They're easier to work with. If you have a $50 bill and somebody isn't able to break it for you, then you got to run into that problem. So I decided to stick with fractional gold, but on a larger scale than just little 1 gram gold bars. I started going with 10th-ounce gold coins soon after. Now again, I wasn't overly consistent, and I wasn't picking up gold very frequently. In fact, I didn't really start picking up gold more aggressively until probably 2020, the second half of 2020 and the first half of 2021. Spot price at the time was about $1,800, within that range, which again, I was thinking to myself, man, $1,800, that's so expensive. You know, to pick up a 10th-ounce gold coin, $180 plus a premium, you're looking at probably closer to $200, maybe $205, $210. It's expensive for a little piece of gold the size of your fingernail. That's expensive, but worth it. I said to myself, just like I say to myself about anything that I choose to stack or invest in, I ask myself the question, or just purchase. It could be like an everyday item. I always ask myself the same question. Does the value exceed the cost? And the answer has always been yes. That was the answer when gold was $1,200. That was the answer when gold was $1,800. And I believe the answer is still yes today at $4,000. I still want to get myself a 1 ounce gold buffalo. That's been a goal of mine for a really long time. And I do plan on picking one up in the very near future. I want to get myself a little 1 ounce gold buffalo. I do not have any gold of that denomination. All I own is fractional gold. What you're looking at on screen is not all the gold that I own, but it's a good portion of it. You can see that I have a handful of 10th ounce gold coins, a variety of different ones from a variety of different countries. I have a 1/4 ounce gold Philharmonic. What you don't see is the little 1 gram gold bar I picked up to get my gold stacking kick-started. And what you don't see are all the gold backs that I've picked up over the years. More so for fun than gold stacking purposes. They're fun to have. It's art made out of money. I decided that the larger the denomination is the smarter way to go when it comes to gold. This is a conclusion that I recently came up with, and the reason for that is because, sure, you could make the argument, well, fractional gold, paying a slightly higher premium for maybe a 1/2 ounce or a 1/4 ounce gold coin is worth it because, number one, you can get the premium back, but two, it's more convenient. Smaller denomination. If you're going to do the whole barter and trade thing or whatever the case may be, that's absolutely the case. But that's absolutely what silver also exists for. If you need a smaller denomination of gold, just use silver instead. I don't know why it took me 7 years to figure that out. I should have been just saving up and getting 1 ounce gold coins the whole time. Hindsight's 20/20, I guess. But either way, I still feel like I've won tremendously. I still feel like I've won in dominant fashion. The reason I say that is because being that I started picking up gold at $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, and that I got a little bit more aggressive with gold at or around $1,800. And by the way, I have more 10th ounce gold coins. When I first started picking up the 10th ounce gold coins, I was just going back and forth between Eagle Maple, Eagle Maple, Eagle Maple, Eagle Maple. And then I came up with this international troy ounce of gold concept. I was like, I'm going to get 10 different 10th ounce gold coins from 10 different countries. I just thought it was a fun thing to do. So I started working on that, got 60% of the way done. And then I got distracted by larger denominations of gold. What a big problem. But here's the thing. My average cost on gold, I would say, is probably about $1,800, being that I got most of my gold between 2020 and 2021. The second half of 2020 and the first half of 2021. Or maybe the entire year of 2021. I don't remember exactly, but I was going back and I was looking at the chart. And gold, for a solid period of time, coincidentally, the period of time that I was most actively stacking gold, was around $1,800. But I did get gold a little bit cheaper than that as well. So if you factor in the premiums, I would go ahead and assume that my average cost on gold is probably about, give or take, $1,800. I win. Gold today is $4,000, almost or on its way to $4,100. I win. My average cost on silver is between $18 and $20 because I got the overwhelming majority of all the silver that I own in 2018 and 2019. I win. I'm up tremendously on everything. When it comes to gold, I have more than doubled. When it comes to silver, I have more than doubled. When it comes to my investment portfolio, I am up overall, like in grand total, I am up almost 71.5%. Is every single stock in the green for me? No. I have a couple that are still in the red. I have others that are up triple-digit percents. And if You add them all together, like collectively, my entire portfolio, at least in my primary taxable account, is up almost 71.5%. My Roth IRA, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but my Roth IRA is way up. My HSA is way up. Both of my 401ks are way up. Is every single holding in every single account in the green? No. There are a small number in the red, but overall, every account is up. Overall, every precious metal is up tremendously. Not by, a measly 0.5%, 1.75%. No. They're all up tremendously. I win. And I'm glad that I started picking up silver and gold when I did. I'm glad I started investing when I did. I'm glad I started a small business when I did. I'm glad I did everything when I did. And there will be people 7 years from now wishing, man, I wish I got gold at $4,000. Who knows what the price is going to be by then? We might be at, $6,000, $7,000 by then, maybe higher. Or maybe not that high, but I would go ahead and assume it'll be dramatically higher than it is today. 7 years from now? I think so. There will be people saying, man, I wish I got silver below $50. People are going to be saying that at $60, $70, $80. There will be people saying that years in the future, similar to how people are saying today, man, I wish I got silver at $30. I wish I got gold at $3,000. There's still time. If you are alive, there is still time. You have not missed the boat. You might have missed the $30 an ounce silver boat, the $3,000 an ounce gold boat. Sure. But you don't have to miss the between $40 to $50 an ounce silver boat. You don't have to miss the $4,000 an ounce gold boat. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. The opportunity's still there. But I wanted to make this video almost exclusively focusing on gold for a reason. I felt like gold deserved its own video today because, man, cracking $4,000. I mean, not only is it an all-time high, and talking about all-time highs, it's obviously an exciting thing to talk about, but $4,000, it's just a monumental number. It's an impressive number for gold to have hit. It's just such a milestone. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to keep trucking along. I'm going to keep investing. I'm going to keep stacking. I'm going to keep buying. I'm going to keep working my friggin' face off and trying to rack up as much cash as I can so that I have more cash to convert into metals, convert into assets, and invest and grow and build and create wealth with. That's what I'm going to be doing. I don't care what the spot price is right now. I'm still going to be trucking along. I'm still going to be working my face off. I'm still going to deal with the early mornings and the late nights, followed by another early morning and another late night. I'm still going to be working my friggin' face off. I'm still going to act like I have no silver at all, no gold at all. I'm still going to act like I just opened up my very first investment account today. That's how I'm working. I'm not kicking back with my feet up yet. Are you kidding me? There's plenty of work to do. There's so much money to make. There's so much money on the table. I don't want to leave a penny. Now, as always, if you like the video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos. And make sure to follow me on Instagram for coin photography. Follow me on TikTok for little video snippets. And make sure to follow me on X. That's where the party's at, formerly known as Twitter. For all of my thoughts related to precious metals, business stocks, real estate, AI, the list goes on. Everything will be linked in the description, or just search me up at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. What are your thoughts on the spot price of gold? Again, I'm filming this video a day before it's uploaded to YouTube, so who knows what the spot price is going to be. But what are your thoughts on gold not only hitting but surpassing the $4,000 an ounce mark, breaking into another new all-time high, and hitting a massive, major milestone, $4,000 for the first time in history? What are your thoughts on that? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.